All right, little bro, you've gone no contact and it's your first week. And I know what you want to know. You want to know what to expect. You want to know how she's feeling. You want to know what she's thinking, and you want to know what you should be doing. Well, I got you, little bro. Let's get into it. First off, how is she feeling? And I know the question behind this question, which is simply, has she forgotten about me? Do I matter to her anymore? And here's what you've got to understand. This is simply you spiraling, okay? Or this is you starting to spiral. And what I need you to do is not that. So let's bring it down a bit. I know that after maybe talking every day, maybe every other day, and not hearing from each other for the first time probably, is really getting to you. And you're kind of wondering, why isn't it getting to her? Now here's the deal, it probably is getting to her, but she's not letting it show as much as you are. Or maybe she is. The point is, whether she is or not showing it, she is going to be bothered by it, okay? But more importantly, you just need to understand that you should not be spiraling right now. And what you're feeling and all of these thoughts, they're just you spiraling. Take a breath, and let's think about this logically with a little bit of psychology mixed in, all right? So how is she feeling? You have just broken up. That means you are in ground zero. The week that you break up is still ground zero. In other words, there's going to be very little movement, very little change. How she's probably feeling is elated to be away from you. Now, it doesn't mean she's over you. It doesn't mean that she's not coming back. It means that she is so happy to finally cut ties with you, because here's the line all women are gonna say, he was toxic. He was toxic. My brother, we have all been called toxic by toxic exes, okay? It's how they make themselves feel better. Whether or not they're actually toxic or not, you only know. How is she feeling? She's happy right now to simply be away from you. Now, that doesn't mean she's with somebody else. That doesn't mean she's talking to somebody else. It doesn't mean she's not. It means that the odds are high that during the first week, she's not gonna be talking to somebody else, and she's not going to be looking for somebody else if she's a healthy, normal individual. Now look, girls with low self-esteem, girls with attachment issues, girls with daddy issues, those are the type of girls that are going to look immediately for external validation from other men, which means simply a day or two after things have ended between you, they're gonna be back on the market. That is not because of you. That is not because you don't still matter. That's not because they're not coming back. That's because their own sense of self-worth is so low that they have got to have external validation in order for themselves to feel better. And here's the honest and simple truth of it. If you, not her, no, I'm shifting the focus to you right now, little bro. If you had the power, the ability to go to the nearest club, to the nearest bar, and get hit on by the hottest girl there, get her number, take her home, and sleep with her, either that night or the next night or maybe the next weekend, you'd do it too. And I think most guys would do the same thing. And man, it is what it is. You know, because here's the thing, you have to sit and deal with your pain. She doesn't. She can run. And she knows that. She can run straight into the arms of another man. And here's the deal. If she does, and this is worst case scenario, and like I said, most girls are still feeling this forlorn sense of hope that you and her will still work out. And I feel confident saying that. Most girls, the average woman's not gonna do this. We're simply talking worst case scenario because I know how your mind works, little bro, because you're a man, because I am too. We want the worst case thing so that we can at least process that and go, okay, if that's the worst case scenario, I'm good. So I'm telling you the worst case right now. And that is, she found a fling, she found a rebound, and that's what it is at best. She found this guy who is giving her external validation right now so that she doesn't have to sit at home like you are and process this breakup. And again, if you could do the same thing, damn if you wouldn't do it. Damn if you wouldn't do it. And damn if I wouldn't do it. And we'd love to think we're above that. We'd love to think that because we love this girl, we never do that, and maybe you wouldn't. But man, sometimes I gotta be real honest with myself. There's some real hot girls out there, and man, getting some attention from them, getting some validation from a pretty woman when you have a broken heart, is a dangerous combination. That's also how you end up breaking hearts, and that's also how you end up becoming the villain. So again, would not recommend, but I'm not your therapist. I'm not your daddy. I'm not your priest. It's not hopeless, little bro. How she's feeling. So worst case scenario, she gets a new guy. And here's the thing, that is not going to last. She doesn't have the emotional history, the closeness, the depth, or the bond that she has with you, that she's gonna have with this new guy, okay? He is all surface level. He is all validation. And I know that because of how quickly she pivoted to him, okay? Now again, we're talking worst case scenario, and she probably hasn't done this, but worst case scenario. I know that he doesn't mean as much to her because of how fast she jumped into a relationship with him, jumped into bed with him, jumped into dating him, it doesn't matter. He is not going to hit the same way that you hit. She is going to throw herself at him as a means of gaining control over that relationship, over that dynamic, because she no longer could with you, okay? It's all psychological with her. But here's what I want you to understand. Even though that's worst case scenario, you are still in the back of her mind. You are still buried in her nervous system, buried in her subconscious. She's doing her best right now to run as far away from you and to get away from everything that reminds her of you as possible, because that negative emotion that you have to sit with, that you have to deal with, that you have to get over, she can run from. And she can only run for so long before it catches up with her. So how is she feeling? Most likely, she is trying her best to simply not think about you. She's trying her best to not go anywhere that reminds her of you. And yeah, she might check your profile a time or two when she's actually thinking, but odds are she's doing everything in her power, going out with her girlfriends, trying to get back in the market, doing anything she can to distract herself from you because she doesn't want to feel the heartbreak that you do right now. And the advantage that you're going to have is that you're going to go through this now, early. She's going to go through it later. And because she's more emotionally weak, that's when she'll reach out to you. Okay? So relax. You're going through it now. You're going to be stronger now, so that when she does reach out, if you want to take her back, she'll be at your, I don't want to say mercy, but she'll be at your beck and call as far as the relationship goes. Let's get into what she's thinking, because it's very different from how she's feeling. There's usually a disconnect with people between how they think and how they feel. And what I mean by that is simply this. There's a quote that goes something like this: most people act on their emotions and then they use logic and reason to explain it away. So here's what I mean. She will think about you, and odds are very high that you cross her mind even in the first week. Now, I don't know how often. It depends on how distracted she is. But when you cross her mind, she's going to do everything she can to push your memory and to push everything about you aside. Okay? That's not because you don't mean anything to her anymore. That's just because she wants to escape the feeling of heartbreak. So when you cross her mind, when she checks your profile, she's going to tell herself, it's not because I miss him, it's because, well, I was showing my girlfriends, or I thought he messaged me, or I thought I saw something, or she'll explain it away like, well, I check all my friends' profiles, it doesn't matter. That's why even if you ask her about it, she's probably gonna give you some BS excuse like that. And the real reason is, emotionally, she wanted to check on you. She wanted to make sure you didn't block her. She wanted to make sure that you were posting about her, because that's what her ego wants. She wants you to post something on your Instagram about her, some sad, sappy love poem or forlorn breakup poem about her. That's what her ego wants. Now, that's not what you should do, and we'll get to that. That's what her ego wants. All right, that's why she's actually checking your profile and things like this. Do you cross her mind? Yes. Do you cross her mind a lot? That depends. The distractions may be really high, especially if she's, mixing it up with some other dude, if she's going out with her girls a lot, if she's staying busy with whatever hobbies, school activities she has, then the odds are she doesn't think about you a lot, but you probably cross her mind in the quiet times. Maybe in the mornings, probably at night when she lays down and when all of her friends stop texting her, when the guy goes to sleep or something like that. And here's the deal, she wakes up and there's no text from you. You guys used to text every morning. And I know you still feel like you should be doing that, but that leads me to my next point. What should you be doing? It's not that, okay? It's not that. It's not texting her. It's not getting a hold of her. You should be in no contact. That should be the very first thing that you've done, is that when the relationship ended and she said, we're done, and you should have broke away clean. Now, most guys don't break away clean. Most guys will text her, blow up her phone, beg. Even if you've done all that, you haven't ruined it, okay? I want you to know that even if you made a complete ass out of yourself, if you made yourself look weak and effeminate in her eyes, you can still fix it. How you fix it is simply this. That's it. Don't get a hold of her. Don't like her posts. Don't watch her stories. You've got to live as if she were dead, okay? You've got to make her live as if you were dead, okay? Now, don't do anything drastic or stupid, but look, she wanted a world without you. So you've got to give her a taste of what that world would be. And that taste is simply you backing off, going no contact, and letting her have her space that she wanted, because that's essentially what she said when she broke up with you was, hey, I need space without you in it. So what you should be doing, you already know, go to the gym. Okay, I shouldn't have to say that. You've probably heard that 1,000 times. You need to go to the gym, you need to make yourself look a little bit better, because here's why. There will come a day where she will look back on her thoughts, and she will be alone with them, and she will think back to you, and she'll look you up. And if she sees you doing better, even if it's just a little bit better, she's gonna see the upgraded version of you, and she's gonna wanna see that upgraded version more than she even wanted to see the old version. And eventually, something's gonna crack, and she'll message you. They always do. You've got to have that mindset, is that they always do. Of course they do. You're a good guy, assuming you're a good guy. Look, here's how I know you're a good guy. Because you're watching this video. Look, good guys that want to treat their girls better are not watching videos like this. They don't care, okay? They don't care if they come back. They don't care how they treat them. They only focus on themselves. And yes, some girls obsess over those types of guys, but here's the deal. You aren't gonna be that guy. I'm not saying you're gonna be Mr. Nice Guy. I'm not saying you're gonna be a pushover, but you need to be the guy that she has to earn back. So what you should be doing is working on yourself, not just physically, but also emotionally. You should have more emotional intelligence, meaning that you should understand more about relationship dynamics, how women operate, how they think, and that's exactly what you're doing by watching videos like this. So you are already on the right path. If you just keep it up, keep up no contact, she's going to message you, and that's whenever you have the ball in your court, and you can either let her down gently, or you can simply let her know, hey, it was great to hear from you. How you been? Something along the lines of, let's get together this weekend and go bowling, or something like that. It's really that simple if you want to reignite something in the future. But again, that ball is totally in your court. You know her better than anybody else, so that you will know when she reaches out what to reply and how to reply. As long as you're honest with yourself, you've gone no contact, you've leveled up, you've given her space, and now she can see, you know what? Life wasn't better when I left you. And that's what she's really thinking. So look, how is she feeling? She's probably still happy that you guys have broken up, right? It's the first week. She's probably elated to be away from you. That's not because she doesn't feel anything for you and that she won't be back, but right now, during the first week, she's probably pretty happy to be away from you. What is she thinking? Does she think about you? Yeah, in the quiet times. It depends on how distracted she is. But I will guarantee you during the first week, she has at least thought about you a couple times. At least. And it probably hurts her to think about you. It probably does. That's why she pushes that away. Which is why you probably think, man, if I could control it, yeah, I'd push that away too. What you should be doing is working on yourself right now. I want you to not spiral. That's the most important thing, okay? Go no contact. Don't spiral. Don't be posting breakup, sad, stupid crap on your profile. It's not going to get her back. It's not going to make her feel bad. It's not going to make her feel guilty. She's already happy to be away from you. She's not going to feel guilty about it. Take a breath. Older bros got you, all right? And I'll see you in the next one.